Good morning and welcome to Nature Watch. Nature Watch is sponsored by Waddell's Nursery, Floral, Garden, and Bird Center at the corner of 12th Street and Millam Road. And now, here is your host of Nature Watch, the one, the only, Gary Miller.
Yeah, he just sort of slid in here this morning with the humidity.
Yeah, this is weather you can wear, my friends.
Yes, it is.
Oh, my goodness.
I was just checking where the dew point right now is at 72 degrees.
Oh, it's not, and it... Ugh.
And so that's in the very humid category. 70 to 75 is the very humid. When we get above 75, it is an oppressive. That's the official term for how it feels.
So we could be oppressive later.
We could, because it's not comfortable out there.
Okay.
It is a little foggy out there in spots. You got some dew.
Yeah.
So a little bit more moisture. It's nice.
Okay.
You may not need the rain gear later this afternoon because it's going to be so warm. Why just take your bar of soap and take a shower someplace?
Take the rain gear. That would be tacky, Gary. Tacky.
Just saying, it's pretty warm. That refreshing water is going to be, the rain's going to feel good if it's a little cool.
Well, I'll tell you, when it did rain this last week and later in the afternoon, it did feel refreshing.
Well, it did until you get too soaked with it.
Right.
So I got soaked at work Thursday. In fact, so soaked my leather belt is still not quite totally dry. And it came down in buckets, and when it started raining, it just poured and poured and poured. And our official rain gauge that we have at Waddell's had 1 inch. I think we got more than that there because I know I heard reports of west of Kalamazoo had 1.5 inches out near Mattawan. I know they had 2 inches or more in some spots of Kalamazoo because they had some flooding.
But the official rain amount that day for Kalamazoo, at least what's going into the record books, is 1/2 inch. That's how scattered it was. Some got drowned, others,
yes,
a little sprinkle.
So it started raining at Waddell's about 10 after 5 on Thursday. Mm-hmm. I didn't get home till about 20 to 7, and my wife said if I'd have got home at 10 to quarter after 6, it was still dry at my house. Wow. I got a total whopping 0.3 of an inch.
Meanwhile,
so I knew it was dry because I was getting close to my house, and the irrigation systems are still running. I'm like, well, we haven't had too much rain. And speaking of irrigation systems, because it's still dry, when I left my house this morning, the field across the road had his pivot going this morning because we haven't gotten much rain.
Meanwhile, Thursday night, you could have brought a kayak out to Northampton Road. I'm just saying that we had that much here.
So the 0.3 I had was all of Thursday and Thursday night to Friday morning. So I had another whopping 1/10 yesterday, last night sometime. So
okay, I'm not sure about how much rain we're going to get over the next few days. However, as far as this heat goes, Scott Larson did give us some encouraging information.
Yes, he did. I was looking at the forecast this morning. It looks like about after Tuesday, we might be more in the more comfortable, less humid, little lower temperatures. Should feel fantastic. Here.
What?
Not much lower, but the less humid, and that's going to be significant.
Oh my goodness, I know it.
Yeah, that was good news to see. But until we get there, it's going to be very humid. But next weekend looks like it's going to be very comfortable. Not too hot, not too humid.
And maybe some clear skies. And I'm sure you're going to talk about that. But
yes.
First of all, let's go ahead and get our weekly giveaway.
Oh, good. Because actually that's good because I wanted to talk about this today. And we've talked about this numerous times. And I thought of this last couple of weeks. So my question today is, and it's sort of softball.
Okay.
What is corn sweat?
What is corn sweat?
So we've referenced it a lot of times. So what is corn sweat?
First correct caller, 269-382-4280. With the correct answer, will win a $20 gift card to Waddell's. Simple as that.
Yep. And it's I don't need the real complicated scientific answer. There's a couple of keywords in there. Right, yeah. So what is corn sweat? So actually with the drought monitor, not much change again this week. Maybe just a little enlargement of the abnormally dry. But with the rains, even though it came hard and fast, we did get some moisture in the ground. Mm-hmm. We may not see much change yet this next week.
Oh, okay.
And if you remember, we had a call on him?
We do.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, WKZO. Who is this?
This is Matt.
Matt, good morning. How are you?
I am good.
Good.
He must be inside in the air conditioning.
I think I hear the air conditioning in the background, actually. Okay, Matt, what is corn sweat?
It's the moisture that gets released from the corn when it gets hot out.
That is correct.
There you go. See,
So a pretty simple answer.
That was a softball.
It was a big softball. And so it actually it's interesting because all plants do that. It's actually it's a process called evapotranspiration. So it's an evaporation from the soil around the plants and the moisture that the plants have taken in, and the stomata on the leaves, little openings, releases moisture, and it's part of the plant's ability to sort of protect itself from extreme heat. When it gets too hot and dry, that's when we see leaves roll up, so it doesn't put off so much moisture, so it preserves the moisture that it's got. The interesting thing is with corn sweat and any other plants, but we call it corn sweat because there's a lot of cornfields around, and we see that significant impact. They can raise the dew point 5 to 10%, which is significant.
Uh-huh.
And so and I noticed it this last week because you could smell the corn sweat.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, exactly.
And sort of a sweet smell from the corn, but still, you can smell that corn sweat.
There you go.
And it's interesting because, and they use the corn because they see the significant impact because there's so much big areas of corn in the Midwest, and primarily a little bit farther west, but we get some here in Michigan too. But an acre of corn can release up to 3,000 to 4,000 gallons of water each day.
Wow.
Which is significant. So in the 90 million acres of corn in the Corn Belt states, 270 to 360 billion, that's billion with a B, gallons of water can be released. And so it raises that dew point, actually not 5 to 10%, 5 to 10 degrees. So if we're at 70 degrees dew point and we've got corn sweat going on, it might push it up to that 75 and oppressive. And you can feel it when you go on the cornfield.
You are just so encouraging.
So we've got 2 million acres of corn in Michigan, roughly. So that's about 6 billion gallons of water if the conditions are just right. And so it something to pay attention to. All plants do that, but we refer to it as corn sweat. It's sort of a somewhat official meteorological term. So
yeah, there
sort of
you
neat
go.
interest.
Yeah. Hey, Matt.
Yes.
Yeah, not only do you win a gift card, you get a story. That's how we work around here.
That's awesome.
That's how we work. All right, Matt, thanks to that 16-inch softball that you smacked out of the park, compared to a 12-inch softball. You have a $20 gift card coming, but I need some information from you. Can you hold on?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. And you folks hold on as well. More Nature Watch coming up next here on WKZO and WKZO.com.
Trees from Waddell's are cool. Know why? Trees planted around buildings can reduce heating and cooling costs by 20%. Now that's cool. Trees also add curb appeal to your home and can add 15% to your property's value. That's cool too. And everyone knows that trees filter pollutants and absorb carbon dioxide. Now that's really cool. And now's your chance to save big at Waddell's on a big selection of trees, shrubs, and evergreens. For some instant shade to cool your home and outdoor living area, choose from Autumn Blaze Maple, Brandywine Maple, or Matador Maple. Each of these shade makers are on sale for $269. Or if you mix and match and get 3 or more maple trees, they're just $250 each. Some other beauties on sale at Waddell's include Sparkling Sprite Crabapple, Prairie Fire Crabapple, Autumn Brilliant Serviceberry, Eastern Clump Redbud, or a Dura Heat Birch Tree. Mix and match and save even more at Waddell's Nursery Florist and Garden Center on Texas Drive at the corner of Millam and 12th Street.
Listen to what those local folks are telling you.
You know what's going on in a more local level.
Kalamazoo's official online local news source is WKZO.com.
840 Nature Watch continues. You can join the show as well. 269-382-4280, or you can text any questions or comments you may have to Gary at 80373. Speaking of Gary, that's Gary.
Hello. So this last week, twice, I had to wait for some wild turkeys to cross the road just down the road from me.
Uh-huh.
The first day, there were 2 hens and quite a few poults, or the young turkeys. And the second time was I just saw 1 hen and a couple of poults, but the others might have been hiding in the tall vegetation. And so my little thought that crossed my mind is, well, turkeys are sort of a distant cousin to chickens. So, why did the chicken cross the road? Why did the turkeys cross the road? For the same reason the chicken did, to get to the other side.
Bada boom. I didn't expect comedy this morning.
I'm going to blame the heat. So this last week, I happened to see a little highlight. I was watching, flipping around to some of the sports stations, and I saw a little highlight from the Mubadala City DC Open, a tennis match. On Wednesday, during the Maria Sakkari and Emma Navarro match, Maria rescued a moth on the tennis court and put it at the end of the court, and then one of the tennis ball boys came over and squished it. And I tried to look up and see what kind of moth it was because the little bit that I saw, it sure looked like a spotted lanternfly. And there were some comments to that effect, but I did not find any confirmation of what kind of moth it was. But it sure looked like a spotted lanternfly. So that's a good reason to squish it.
Okay. Well, see, there you go. And you saw it live on TV.
Yes. I thought it was interesting to see. So the couple other things that I mentioned last week, we have a unique opportunity tomorrow to celebrate 3 holidays at once. You've got the Take Your Pants for a Walk Day, Take Your Houseplant for a Walk Day, and National Walk on Stilts Day. And I was looking at some of the upcoming holidays for this next week, and I had to laugh a little bit because I thought, well, boy, if you don't have a houseplant to take for a walk tomorrow, and you've got your stilts and you're going to be wearing your pants, obviously, out for a walk, you could maybe get a little practice in for Monday's holiday, which is National Bagpipe Appreciation Day. Maybe get a little practice in on the bagpipe, play the bagpipes while you're walking with your pants and on the stilts. Just something else to do this weekend.
You have confused me. You have totally confused me.
I thought it was funny. It just popped in my head again. I'm gonna really blame the heat this week. You know, that heat just gets sort of cooked after a while.
Nature can take a wallop on your brain. I'm just saying.
So the Michigan DNR, and I happened to see this last week and didn't have a chance to talk about it. If you are looking for some adventure in Michigan, the DNR has an all-new rec search, that's REC for recreation search, website. And it's at michigan.gov/REC search. And so michigan.gov/rec search. And you can find all sorts of opportunities for things to experience out on trails, shoreline, all sorts of things that the DNR administers, forests, parks. So lots of neat things to look at. So something to do, and maybe when the heat, you're trying to plan where you're going to do your outing and trying to figure out where it's cool, like maybe in the Upper Peninsula, and go up there where it's cooler and find some neat things to do.
Well, you know, if you listen to Scott, it's going to be cooler here. So you don't need to drive all the way up north.
Maybe there's a lot of things, neat things to do here, too.
Unless you want jacket weather, because, you know, if we're going to cool off, you would imagine the UP might be just a little bit cooler. Yeah.
So, you know, and actually one of the areas, fun areas to walk around and when you have a chance is the Wolf Lake Fish Hatchery, because you always have lots of wildflowers, especially this time of year. You get all those ponds and that they're rearing the fish that they're going to release. They did have something in the news this week, though. They did find a red swamp crayfish in a pond at Wolf Lake Fish Hatchery. And the red swamp crayfish is an invasive, and it was found in one of the outdoor muskellunge rearing ponds when they were stocking muskellunge in the Thornapple Lake in Berry County and Lake Hudson in Lenawee County. Oh. And they found 2 carcasses of the unusual crayfish. They are not legal to or hold them here in Michigan. They actually from down south, sometimes they get brought it here for a crayfish boil or something, or bait, and either accidentally or intentionally released. And so the state has been very aggressive in trying to prevent those from getting and affecting our native crayfish. And so they are actually doing some very intensive screening on the 2 lakes where they released the muskellunge, and also all the ponds and the outlets coming from Wolf Lake Fish Hatchery to make sure that they're not spreading somewhere.
Okay. Hey,
they have no idea where they came from.
Wow.
So
all right.
Interesting to see. They don't know if it came in from some of their fish stocks. They don't raise all the fish from extremely young. They get fish from other locations, too. So they might have come in with food. They have no idea. So they're just trying to figure out where they came from, and then they're really monitoring to make sure it doesn't get spread. So another invasive to watch for.
Okay.
Some are always talking about invasives. I actually had to share this because Carol from Vicksburg shared this neat research story that I'd seen. She'd actually had shared it a couple of weeks ago. It's about crows. And so researchers from the Massachusetts Turnpike Authority, the MTA, have found over 200 dead crows near Boston recently, and there were concerns that they may have died from the avian flu. An avian pathologist examined the remains of all the crows, and to everyone's relief, confirmed that the problem was definitely not avian flu. That was a good sign. The cause of death appeared to be vehicle impact. However, during detailed analysis, it was noted that different colors of paint appeared on the birds' beaks and talons. By analyzing these paint residues, it was determined that 98% of the crows had been killed by truck collisions, with only 2% had been killed by car collisions. The MTA then hired an ornithologist to determine that if there was a cause for the disproportionate percentage of truck kills versus car kills. He quickly deduced the cause. When the crows were eating roadkill, they always had a crow lurking in a nearby tree to warn of impending danger. They found that while all the sentry crows could call "ka," not a single one could call "truck."
Okay.
Boom, boom. Jim just rolled his eyes if you couldn't hear that. I was funny. I thought it was a good time for some humor with the heat.
You're on a roll.
I'm on a roll today.
With a side of slaw.
So we'll get something serious here now. Persei meteor showers.
Still going.
Oh, yeah, still going. Something going for several more weeks. And I have to admit, I've not gone out. I actually took a glance. I was going to take a look last night when I was up in the middle of the night, and it was like cloudy, so I couldn't see anything.
Right.
But it's been so blasted warm and humid, and the mosquitoes and the deer flies are still buzzing around. You got to have some protective gear to go outside and try to see those those stars. But it's been so hot and humid, it's not comfortable to go out. I want some of those nice, crisp, clear nights, and so it's cool enough so the mosquitoes aren't buzzing around. You got a clear night, you can see the stars, not much moonlight.
That's
comfortable.
That's winter.
So we have some meteor showers during the winter months, and that's actually then you got to bundle up to go out and see them.
Right.
Maybe this next weekend.
Yeah.
The clear skies. We're not quite to the full moon yet, so we give me a little more moonlight, so we might be able to still see some pretty good showers coming up. So we've got another couple of weeks before the peak.
Just get away from city lights. That's your best bet if you want to watch them.
So and because the where we're located here in Kalamazoo, where it looks like the point of origin of those meteors is the Perseus constellation. That is basically circulating around the pole or the North Star. So it's that circumpolar navigation, basically circling, and so we can see that. But the best time to really see where that sort of a midpoint is, though you can look anywhere in the sky and see them, about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, at about 70 degrees from the horizon in the northeast is where that center point is. But you'll see those meteors coming from every direction, it seems like. And you can see just, get your eyes used to the dark and just watch. You'll see some faint ones, especially if you're in a nice dark area. There are a few other minor meteor showers going on. You might see something odd here and there off to the side, but most of them are going to be at up and you'll see. If you're in a really dark area, even with the faint ones, you might see well over 100 an hour. If you're in a really dark area, even with the faint ones, you might see well over 100 an hour.
So there are some people that are doing their quarterly styrofoam recycling in the Growlers parking lot, and they're laughing with you.
Oh,
they appreciate the humor. So when do you start on the comedy circuit, sir?
I can any time. That would mean I have to do remote shows, and we've not had great luck doing remote shows.
Isn't there an open mic night somewhere?
Well, you got to have fun once in a while. So
right,
it's just,
right.
But so the meteor showers have been they're fun to watch, and this is the biggest one we get here in Michigan consistently. Sometimes the moonlight doesn't cooperate, and so far the weather has not cooperated very well because we've had a lot of clouds. So this next week, watch the forecast. We get some clear nights. Might be a fantastic opportunity.
Ooh, there you go.
And then one of the other things I want to talk about is another invasive. We're talking about invasives today. And this one actually goes hand in hand with spotted lanternfly. So we've talked about that numerous times. And the state is asking that you really make those reports if you do see spotted lanternfly. Look on the website. So if you go to the DNR website or Michigan Department of Agricultural and Rural Development, MDARD, or Eagle. They all have links to the look-alike species. So there are a few species that look somewhat alike, but though if you look closely and you see some, you'll know the difference. But they want you to report those if you do see them because they are spreading. They're coming this way. They're already here in Michigan in the southeast. They're just across the line near South Bend. They confirmed that last year. So they're coming soon. They eat just about anything. And what they're concerned about is because they really like fruit trees. But the tree that they really like, their preferred food, is an invasive tree called tree of heaven. Sometimes called Chinese sumac or stinking sumac. The botanical name is Ailanthus altissima. And it is everywhere, and it spreads very easily. It spreads via root system, little seeds. It is blooming right now. Actually, it was blooming about a week and a half ago, and you can still see remnants of it. The leaves have actually a bunch of little leaflets on them. It looks like a grouping of leaves similar to a sumac plant or a walnut tree. So you have all those, it looks like a bunch of leaves together, but there's actually a little leaflet on the main leaf, which is many of them that can be 1 to 3 feet long, can have 11 to 25 of those narrow leaflets. And so it does resemble the sumac or the walnut. So walnut, you can take a leaf and crush it, and you can smell that juggalo or walnut smell, so you know it's a walnut tree. Tree of heaven actually sort of stinks, and has a small seed. It is everywhere in the U.S. I know when we were in Europe several years ago, in Athens, Greece, and in Rome, Italy, but especially in Athens, they were weeds everywhere. Tree of heaven everywhere, and it comes from Asia originally. People planted it in their homesteads around in the U.S. and especially in the Midwest because again, it got a nice bloom sort of in the summer. It looks like a nice bloom, but they didn't know that they were going to spread everywhere. And the part of the control of trying to prevent spotted lanternfly from spreading is to eradicate and remove the tree of heaven. So we take that really primary food source from them, and maybe we can slow down the spotted lanternfly spread. Definitely might be worthwhile trying. So
I wonder how many of you out there have seen a spotted lanternfly and done the squish it, report it.
Yes, if anybody's seen it, give us a call because I'd be interested to see if anybody's actually seen some.
Or a text. You can do either.
And I'd like to hear your voice, though.
Yeah, well, their voice, mine's annoying. Anyway.
I hear yours all the time.
It gets old, doesn't it?
So lots of things going on right now. If you have a chance, especially with the comfortable weather coming this next week, might be a great opportunity to get outside and enjoy the outdoors a little more. Where you're not sweating every 10 steps.
Right.
You sort of leave a trail of sweat droplets when you're going out hiking or biking right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I noticed actually the last couple of days, especially yesterday, the dew point was high enough and the air quality was not great, but not real bad either. Sort of just starting to get a little bad with the particulate matter and the ozone. It was sort of hard to breathe sometimes yesterday, just because the air was just so heavy.
Yeah,
oh my goodness,
exactly. And with me, if you're a longtime listener of Nature Watch, you may have heard me wheeze a few times back, last year, or hear me complain about it. Yeah, because I am one of those sensitive.
Yeah, so am I.
People.
And so I noticed, especially yesterday, that air was just so heavy.
Yeah,
and I think today we're going to be sort of that same situation because got the scattered showers. I always laugh about the forecast because they sometimes say scattered showers, sometimes they say stray showers. And my first thought with stray showers is who lost it?
Yeah, we're up to 75 now. Dew point, though, 72.
Ooh.
That is 92% humidity when you do the math.
So we, that 72 and getting very near the actual air temperature, that's where we start getting that fog.
Yeah.
If the dew point gets at or above the existing air temperature, it turns instantly into rain. Drops all that moisture out of the air, but still stays really humid.
And we've got this nice pocket entering northern Illinois. Actually, some of it's starting to bump into the Chicagoland area. So if you're going to be out and about today, just expect some rain. But we need it, and I'm seeing some yellows and reds. If those hold up and come over us, very beneficial.
Yeah, as long as we may get some thunder and lightning and some thunderstorms because of the heat buildup with the energy. I was watching the radar from the last couple hours earlier this morning, and actually, every time we've had showers come in, you can see those storms coming in from Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, and those storms in masses hit Lake Michigan, and they might come ashore a little bit, and they just sort of dissipate and disappear. Talking about lightning and being safe, so if you're out and about and you do encounter a thunderstorm and lightning, be safe. There was a report this week of a gentleman over in Fort Custer, but near Battle Creek, in his vehicle, in his truck, and it was struck by lightning.
Wow.
And he escaped from the truck before the truck became engulfed in flames. But he was very, very lucky. He survived, no injuries. It's amazing, actually, that he didn't have any injuries or didn't have any electrical shock from the lightning because he's surrounded by a metal box, basically.
Right.
But because the energy of the lightning, I'm going to guess probably went right through the tires and around the tires and hit the ground. But he's still very lucky. Not everybody can say they survive a lightning strike. Maybe he went out and played the lotto or something. Then I know I would. I feel lucky now.
There you go.
But be safe out there. Lightning does injure a lot of people, and so you don't want to get underneath the tallest tree. Don't be carrying an umbrella, i.e. a lightning rod in your hand.
Yeah.
So be safe out there. But,
exactly.
If it's not thunder and lightning, you just got rain, go out and dance in the rain and enjoy it. We don't see it enough lately.
Tell me.
It's probably going to feel refreshing, too.
Yeah, tell me about it. And you'll cool off. Maybe.
Well, until the rain stops and then the humidity level goes up again, and you're going to be,
right.
I just was sweating again like I was before the rain.
So are you going to be sweating over at the 12th Street and Millam roundabout?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
No, you're going to get a little breeze once in a while helps.
Right.
The air doesn't move around at all. It's just like,
Remember, as we put a wrap on this edition of Nature Watch, if you miss a show or if our stream goes poof again for some reason or another, I podcast these shows like around 10 o'clock. I get them up in the morning. So you can go back and check out shows that you may have missed, or, if you want to review today's show.
And we actually have a link.
Because Gary was funny.
Yeah, and we have a link on Waddell's website, too, waddell's.com. And if you have something you want to send me some info or make a comment during the week, email me at naturewatch@waddell's.com.
There you go. Thank you, Gary. And thank you for listening to this edition of Nature Watch. Tune in each Saturday morning at 8:30 for Nature Watch, brought to you by Waddell's Nursery, Floral, Garden, and Bird Center at the corner of 12th Street and Millam Road. CBS and local news is next, and then Andy Waddell is in with our next edition of Over the Garden Fence right here on 590 and 106.9 FM WKZO.